Hello, beautiful people. So yesterday, I gave you the habits that heal, the holistic habits that heal, the system for change. Um, and today, I want to just give you a little bit more detail on that because there are some nuances that have really helped me and that can really bring this system into life and see exactly how it works. So I just want to tell you I used to blame and shame and complain about my situation. So 5 years ago, I was in chronic pain. I had chronic pain for the majority of my adult life. I was in a situation that I was broke and felt broken. And I had a toddler. I was a self-sufficient farmer. I'd left science behind to have a more minimal, lifestyle. And also because of the chronic pain, I couldn't do any more of the 18-hour experiments that I was doing. And it was not serving me. So anyway, the point is that I was in a place where I was blaming and shaming myself and complaining about my situation, until I woke up and realized that I had to take responsibility for my situation, and that nobody was going to come and save me. And so, with these diagnoses that I had, the fibromyalgia, the early onset rheumatoid arthritis in my fingers and joints, I kind of really started to realize that through the help of the John Sarno's work, Dr. John Sarno, and The Divided Mind, the book The Divided Mind, really got me to the point where I had to take responsibility for my own situation, and blaming and complaining was only keeping me there, right? So what did I do? The realization that my physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, my PEMs, I call them now PEMs, so that we can find in the word, to remember them. I'm a product of my physical, emotional, and mental and spiritual habits, my daily current physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual PEMs habits, right? And there lies the kind of, where you can start shaming yourself, but at the same time, it also is on the opposite of that. Once you move through the shame, you can get to the power. There lies the power, right? And so the power lies in change, in like small, consistent change. And I love this concept, from doing something differently once per 1% per day, improving your the in 1 year, the amount of improvement is massive, right? And this is the concept that I gave you yesterday about the holistic habits that heal. If we do every single month bring in a new habit, then we can start that change. And so in 12 months, your habits have completely changed, and you're actually in a much better place, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritual, right? So, and if we don't have a system for change, then we literally will, because of habit gravity, we function from 95% of the time, from the subconscious mind, which is habit orientated. We literally will stay in comfort zone and nothing will change. So we will have these symptoms of pain and dis-ease in our body if we don't do something about it, right? So, and all the transformation of that gives our body, it opens us up to the possibility. Okay, I'm going to take responsibility for my health. What does my body want to tell me with this pain? What is it trying to communicate with me? And where is this pain reflected in my life, in the habits that I do, in the emotional habits that I have, the mental patterns of programming that I'm at victim of, right? I'm feeling like I'm victim to. what is disarming me or disabling me, right? So we can start to see the body and the pain as a wisdom, right? So this is a really really vital to get, and hopefully I'm kind of, you know, through the videos I'm inspiring you to, you know, make changes in your life and to build a system for change, right? So through my own need for healing and change and growth as a human, we all have this need as a human need to grow and evolve. The universe is growing and evolving, you know, so, and we're obviously the universe, part of the universe. So we are, you know, this is a natural need and mechanism, right? So building this simple and effective system of a change is really, really helpful, that I gave you yesterday and gifted you to yesterday. So, but I want to say today, I want to just kind of go into the nitty gritty a little bit about the habits that I incorporated and how I did that. And this was taken, I mean, I was inspired by the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. By the way, I'll give you a link. He has that book. It's now available on Audible on Audible as an Audible file, so you can have that. Sorry, YouTube, on YouTube. It's a YouTube, but Audible, right? So yeah, this concept of atomic habits has, you know, really helped me understand the science of habit creation and how to build it in, you know, his is less oriented towards health but more to do towards life. My ones that I'm going to be sharing with you today are more health orientated, but again, holistic health. So considering the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual habits that we have on this day. So as I said yesterday, what we do first is we start making a list. And we break that list down. I have an Excel file. You can do it on paper and a folder wherever you want, but break down those habits into kind of the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual habits. And I also have business because I'm an entrepreneur. But I have those, you know, and you can actually have any area in your life that you want to specialize in or focus on as a more holistic, even more holistic life, you know, model, right? So I just want to give you some examples today of my habits in that I have, and also my habits out, and how that actually works, and what the function of those, you know, the nuances of this system is. Okay. So for example, I started with a daily movement habit. I, you know, regularly exercise, but I kind of had an exercise mentality, you know, like once, twice, 3 times a week, something like that. I was very active until I got chronic pain. I did lots of gym, but also swimming, football, basketball, all sorts of things. And then chronic pain, you know, flare up, and I would drop them. I would have to drop them, and I would feel like, you know, kind of taken over by that. So daily movement is something that I would just recommend as a kind of mentality rather than exercise. So it's just medicine is movement. Movement is medicine. So we can just like build something into our daily lives. I've been doing that since 2019, a daily movement, and that's exercise, weight training, home exercise. I've got a beautiful big 6 exercises from the Mind Valley top athletes, the top athlete in from Mind Valley, that I do it also at home. But I also incorporate Tabata, which is like the intermittent training, and various other forms of training or exercise movement that I enjoy, like even just dancing with my daughter, right? So that's I'm going to give you some, I'm going to give you some physical habits that you can start to get inspired by. And the good thing about the list is that you can put the month that you're going to be choosing that habit to be in, and then you can see the habit list growing, right? And these habits, once you've put them in, you no longer have to think about them after a month, right? It's become a habitual thing that you do, just like brushing your teeth, like just going off, getting ready to go to work. Everything is habitualized in our life. We just don't kind of realize like how important, like I said, we don't shine the consciousness of light on these habits, because most of these habits we've actually taken on from our parents or environment. So some of the things like daily what are the habits today? Physical habits. So you can also break down the physical into the body and also the environment. So for example, I really want to make a new habit of my sink being 100% clean, not with dirty dishes in it, sitting there for a couple of hours. I really want to get that as a habit. So that's one of my habits that I've written down as something that I really want to do. Intermittent fasting, something I've done and tried. I sometimes take it on and then I drop it. So that's another thing. That daily face yoga, as we age. I want to age with grace, and I really want to find something. That's something that I've but I've got a lot of other habits that I've put in. For example, probiotics, not taking a pill, because I don't believe necessarily in pill taking, and I don't remember pills very easily. So I have a habit that I know probiotics, the gut health is vital for I've had that for our health, or in general. But I've had that habit now since April. As I focus, I know that gut health is important, but I hadn't put a habit. The goal was to have holistic health, but I hadn't put a habit in that was actually addressing that specific need for the body to have probiotics, daily probiotics in our life. And I had to take antibiotics for some kind of, explosion. I had a kind of like a rash on my arm, and it got infected and all sorts of things. And that was an opportunity for it. So I took antibiotics, and then I was like, okay, I need to take probiotics. So I read probiotics. So I realized putting this in a habit would be really beneficial, right? So then I just do it now. Every day I have a little bit of sauerkraut that I make, kefir, and kombucha, which is a combination of all different probiotics, which is a very, so for example, something that I really want to increase in my put into my daily habit is mushrooms. So getting a variety of mushrooms from the holistic health shop, or the a variety pack, or some things like that. I had a habit of lemon water. I still have it. I drink lemon water. I just chop a lemon, put hot water on top of it, get all this from the skin and everything into the juice, into the water, and I drink that with loving compassion and loving intention. Cold showers was something that I did. Again, the benefits of cold showers. That was my Mayan habit. So now I have the month that my habit was put in. I choose a habit a month, right? So there's some of the habits that I've done, and some of the habits that I still haven't, put in practice. That's the physical habits, right? Emotional habits, like soothing techniques. I use all the soothing techniques that I've shown you on my website, on my YouTube channel. Tapping, havening, validate, calibrate. I use all sorts of EMDRs, other soothing tools that I, the vagal nerve, again, I've the vagal nerve reset, which is behind the, having the head. I've got the video on it, not to take up too much time now. Heart brain coherence breathing is something that I put in May, and so that I've been doing that daily in my meditation, hourly meditation. And daily parts work, journaling, that kind of thing is something. And some of these habits may overlap. So emotional, the emotional and mental habits, like the daily parts could be also, could be in the mental category, right? So it's up to you where you put it in. It doesn't really matter. But just to have a kind of concept of general those four areas of our holistic health. So mental thought habits may be my one in June for this one is affirm, connect before correcting, which is something that I'm trying to learn with my daughter, and general for myself as well. Affirming, validating, I do now much more of, but with my daughter, I'm still sometimes get into the, I correct before I connect, and that creates power struggles because I'm consciously parenting her. So inspired learning, something that I had in, as mental health, I listened to an inspiring podcast or audio book, a part of an audio book or whatever, for at least 20 minutes per day. And that's something that it's really benefited me. Trigger conscious reaction or respond, that's something as well. Very helpful is something that I did now last month. I put in for May, which is the catalyst journaling. I've known about this for a while. Trigger journaling I've done. But the catalyst journaling just reframed it much more, even more like in depth. So these habits can build as well. You can build on something you put in basically a habit. So the habit of journaling, and then you can transform that habit once it's set in, right? So something that I would really like to do more daily, or from the spiritual level, is hourly I am essence. So tuning in, that we know that we're a spiritual being having a human experience. So the more we can get in tune with the spirit of that, the essence of who we are, and the essence of unity, oneness, and I'm trying to do that on an hourly basis. I usually just set an alarm, and I just have a ding, and I just tune in for a couple of minutes. Again, these habits can be really, really short, and they just break the concepts of who we think we are. They can break the habit of being yourself, as Joe Dispenza, stuck in our negative emotions, stuck in our negative thought patterns. So we can really raising the bar, raising the awareness, the consciousness, starting to tune into pure consciousness. What does that actually mean? Like embodying that is something that, the concept, obviously I know for many years, but do I actually, like I said, I know about probiotics, but or drinking enough water, but do I actually do it, right? Do I actually put it into my daily practice, my daily rituals, into my daily life? So deeper connection with the essence of who I am, and essence of oneness with self, my unity with my parts, integration of my parts, as well as connection with other people, and the bigger connection, right? The connection with the universe. So, and another thing that I wanted to do more regularly, because I find my time limiting, but I think it's very, very important, is deep connection with others. So reaching out to friends and family daily, just sending a friend a beautiful post, or if a member of your family. I've got lots of nieces and nephews, and I rarely contact them. So that's something that I really want to develop the habit of. And again, that can take a couple of seconds, right? Just taking a photograph. But if you have it in your consciousness that this is something that you want to improve and build on, then this habit in once per month has really benefits that, right? I'm not going to focus on my business habits right now, because this is more to do with holistic health. And then you have a section for habits out: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual habits out, right? That you don't want to do anymore, or that you can upgrade from, for example, drinking too much coffee, right? It can be a bad habit that you don't want to have anymore. And so you can, replace it with something else, like a good habit. So you'd have it in the bad, the out habits, right? Alcohol, for example. I don't know, if you want to stop drinking alcohol. I don't drink much alcohol, but, I don't have a need to stop completely. But, some people might, right? Or I have processed wheats. I occasionally have processed wheats, and I don't think it's particularly good for me. Mind you, I don't have any sensitivities. I just think that it's not particularly good for us. So I try and avoid it, right? And sugar. So for example, that I have this habit after I do my meditation, my relaxation in the afternoon. When I get up, I just want a piece of something sweet, like a bit of chocolate. And so instead of having a bad quality chocolate, I now have a good quality chocolate, usually like 70% dark chocolate, which there has lots of health benefits. And so I'm trying to, change a not so great habit into a better habit, right? Just that awareness really, really makes a difference, right? Emotional, maybe blaming and complaining, that's my out habit. So shopping for evidence of unlovableness or abandonment, that's something that I still find very, sometimes I do. We all shop for evidence. So we have this mental belief about ourselves. I have an abandonment wound that I'm, healing through parts work. And it comes up sometimes, and I find that I shop for evidence of people not wanting to be around me or, not feeling lovable. So that's something that, for example, that as a habit that you can start to be aware of, and you can change again once in one of these habits or two of these habits in and out per month, means that this stepward progression of like a little thing per day and a little increase, with the habits over time, you are literally you're changing your life. External validation is something that sometimes I notice myself doing. I want to get external validation. So instead of that, I try and validate myself. That would be an in-out habit, external validation, in habit, internal validation, and acceptance of my emotions, my emotional state, all that kind of stuff. Right. So you can see that, so they can be in and out, they can be the same thing, but just having, sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. And so having this mentality, this kind of like a kind of holistic view, then you kind of really start to tune in to the benefits, right? And having an awareness of them all. So is there anything I wanted to share with you about that? Anything more? No, I think that's fine. I'm going to also share with you next time the blisscipline. The concept of blisscipline, so that we can reframe habits from being kind of boring and, like just the whole idea of discipline is like nobody particularly likes, but if we can reframe it into what we call creating your own bliss through discipline. Blisscipline is phrase I've taken again from Vishen Likiani, one of my mentors. And I love this concept because we are literally creating bliss through our rituals, through our habits. And also that the Aristotle's quote that discipline is freedom. The more you get into this concept that if we have too much choice and less discipline in our lives, it's chaos, it's chaotic. And especially for people who are in chronic pain or have chronic dis-ease in their body, the sense of safety that we need to bring into your body and align with, more peace and more calmness, learning how to soothe your emotions, soothe your mental patterns of thought, connect to a whole greater sense of wholeness, oneness. I'm whole, I'm, not broken, is really, really vital. Plus, obviously, changing your physical habits, right? So with that, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'm going to give you the blisscipline rituals that I do more in depth next time. So with that, take care. Bye.